Hi, and welcome to College Planning Untangled, where we help families that are going through the college planning process to simplify their lives. I'm Kristin Clark. I'm a career exploration coach for 16 to 26-year-olds, and I'm here with Bobby Hood, our ACT SAT expert. Bobby, how's life treating you this week?
Just great. Yeah, it's summer mode. I've got students working on the July ACT is in a week and a half, and so we're just plodding along. It's good stuff. It's nice in the summer when students have more free time. They can do lots of work and get their prep done. It's great.
Yeah, and summer is just kind of like that weird time, right? Where everybody's not busy, but super busy.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's it. Yeah. And this week we wanted to start talking about college essays. Students who are becoming seniors, they're ready to get a college essay picked. They got to figure out what colleges to apply to and all that sort of thing.
And Bobby, the smart ones are working on their essays this summer while they have time
Right.
to sit back and think about it. So we thought this would be the perfect time to think about, what do you want to talk about? And I know for
Absolutely.
any, soon to be seniors that are struggling with, what do I even say in an essay? We want to talk through that during part one of, how to even pick a topic.
Absolutely. Right. And so the Common App actually opens on August 1st. That's when you can start filling in. You can't enter your essay until August 1st, but you can start writing it now. Right. Why not get ahead of the game and figure it out? Right. And so that's when now is the time when students can work with you and figure out what their strengths are and what their college major is, because that'll help them. Right. And I say, but that's what we thought we'd do is take just a little series over today and the next few weeks where we talk about writing your college essay. And so just a few overview tips and then diving into each of the essays. So most colleges are going to have you just choose one of the Common App essay prompts, or they might specify a few of the Common App essay prompts and let you choose from them. Only a few colleges have their own specific main essay, right? A lot of colleges will have their own little sub essays that are short. So let's talk about that. So, every year the Common App puts out their essay prompts, and this year they are the same as last year. But so let's put this here
And
so
Bobby, in the
we
whole
can.
scheme of things,
Yeah.
each year they're kind of sort of alike, right?
Oh yeah, they're very similar. But every few years they add a new one, right? But like you probably haven't really looked at them unless it's that year, right? So I just put a link to their announcement where they announced them this year, and so you can see if you go to this link, you can scroll down and here's the list of the essay prompts. And this is what we're going to look through over the next few weeks. We're going to take each of these essay prompts and talk about specifically how to approach each of them and which ones you should select and that sort of thing. Right. But first, let's just talk generally about the college essays. So you may remember when we did this a long time ago, I mean, you just kind of wrote something. You didn't think that hard about it. Right. And it was just kind of like, hey, I'm great. I should go to your college. Right.
Yeah.
And so it matters a lot more now. It probably mattered a lot then, but we just didn't think about it that much. Right. But the thing is, you've got these college admissions officers and they are reading hundreds of essays, right, by different students. And I guess you might imagine they are reading the same essays over and over and over. Everybody writes the same essays, right? And this is what's so hard about it, is because the objective is to write an essay that is completely unique, that only you could have written, right? And
I
students
know.
don't
And
believe
Bobby,
there's anything unique about
what
themselves.
I've seen out there is teenagers, you've only lived so much of a life.
Right.
So you see a lot of the same stories about I got kicked off the team, or
Right.
I broke my leg, or I went on a mission trip. And quite frankly, guys, it's just not that special.
Absolutely. Right. So that's part of the thing. And so the essays also, like, if you just look at the prompts, they start making you think of stories like that. Right. So, like, one of them is, what are the lessons you took from an obstacle you encountered? Or reflect on a time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. At first glance, that might sound like, oh, I got kicked off the team or I got injured and I had to that was a very challenging, that was a setback, right? That's a setback that so many people have gone through, that the college admissions officers, when they read that, they're going to say, I've read 100 of these, right? And so the biggest thing is, the first thing I want people to know is, the first thing to do is do not do any of the biggest, most common essay topics. Just stop and choose something different immediately, which is anything about the sports team recovering, either you recovering from an injury, the sports team not winning and then getting to where they're winning at the end of the season, right? Anything about going on a summer camp or trip, anything about you went on a trip for a week and it changed your life, right? If it's summer camp or a church camp or a mission trip, right? They get a million of those. And also, a lot of times those trips are to exotic foreign destinations, right? Or really nice places. And the person who's reading this essay is saying, I didn't get to go to Italy last year. I didn't get to go to Asia last year.
And this teenager is getting to go and do all this fun stuff, right?
Absolutely. So you don't know how the person might feel about that. And also, it's just like it makes it sound like the only thing you know how to write about is like your sort of rich person privilege or whatever, right? And you want to avoid that feeling, right? Especially because even though it may have been very meaningful to you, right? The essay might, you might want to say, yeah, I went to this foreign country, I went to this island, or I went to this poor country, and I realized that people are all the same all over the world, right? That may sound profound to you, but I promise you, they get thousands of essays every year that say that. Right. And so that's the first thing, which is what you want to do. And that's the only point I want to make this week, is that you want to start thinking of a story that responds to one of their prompts, that is very personal to you and is about you. And the way you do that is the same thing that you teach students when they're trying to identify their strengths and their major, right? And their career path, is something that makes your eyes light up when you talk about it. Right? Something that is very nerdy and specific to you, right? So
and Bobby,
that's what you help students do.
Yeah. So, and let's talk through that. So it's really that something that maybe something that somebody else doesn't know about you. Mm-hmm. It may be something, and one thing that I've learned through doing like the TikToks that I do on my TikTok channel is you can take the teeniest, tiniest little thing and talk about it. And it now is a bigger thing, like really dive into it. And when you were talking earlier, just some rando thing came up in my mind. Where I was like, you could talk about the decision to put a green or a black olive on this salad, and all of us at the, where you worked as a waiter, and how it changed somebody's life. It could be something very, very tiny that all of a sudden became this big thing, so.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's absolutely the thing. And so that's what you're looking for, is just these unique little stories from you, because what they want, and this is what we want to close with today and lead into the next things, which is the college admissions officer wants to read the essay and say, I know something about this person's personality, and they seem like they would like to come to this school. They would make some friends. They would be open to meeting new people, and they would be a good member of our campus next year. And they're going to stay for the whole time, and they're going to graduate. And they're going to be great alumni. That's what you want them to feel when they read it, is that they know something about you. And so it has to have something personal about you. And that's what students and parents can start talking about right now, is look for a thing that just is a boring, fun topic that is maybe boring to other people, but to you, it makes your eyes light up, whether it's just something funny about the job you work at, or something funny about the way you get dressed in the morning, or something funny you notice when you're sitting staring out the window in the car. What do you think about? What makes your eyes light up? Those are the things that then, once you get something like that, anything can be made into a topic, no matter how weird and esoteric it is. And that's what we'll start talking about next week, when we start going through the different pairs 2 by 2 through the Common App essay topics. And that's it.
So Bobby, I lost you, so I'm going to close it out. But guys, come back. We've got, we're going to do like 2 or 3 at least more sessions and really diving into this subject, because it's that important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Come back next week and we'll keep going.